Jerry North. Jerry North.
What's going on, my people, and welcome to the Sn95 Power channel. So coming into this year, I want to make this red car something for all occasions. Now, if I want to go out to eat with my wife, there's a car for that. If I want to go to car shows, no problem. Hit up the drag strip, let's get it. So what I really wanted to do is turn this car into my ultimate Sn95 Mustang. All right, so let's break down what does this mean. I have 4 categories that must be met in order for, in my opinion, an Sn95 to be considered an ultimate Sn95. Now, I'm gonna need some interaction with you people out there on this. So I have 4 things. Feel free to add to this list. Feel free to give me your opinions on how you feel about the 4 things I have on this list. Okay, so here are the 4 things. Styling, power, comfort, and technology. In some form or fashion, I have some of those things done to this car. At the same time, this car is lacking in some of those areas. So what this video is about is me breaking down what I'm going to do to this car to turn it into what I feel is an ultimate Sn95 Mustang. All right, so let's start first off on the list with styling. So what would you do to turn your Sn95 Mustang into the ultimate looking 4th generation Mustang? For me, it all starts with wheels. The wrong type of wheels on a car can kill the look of the car no matter how wet that paint job is. In my opinion, expensive wheels doesn't mean the best looking wheels. For me, I went with these weld, I call them the 4-man S71s, the Ventures. But I believe the wheel style plays into the combination of the color of the car. You know, before I had these weld wheels, I kind of went with some Race Stars with the all black look. I had a set of SVE all chrome wheels, but I really think that, you know, these wheels on here right now really configured the car into the best looking state that it's ever been in. And speaking of wheels, what are some of your favorite wheels that brands that are out there on these 4th generation Mustangs? For me, Rovos are favorite. Adhans is another one. Leave a comment down below and tell me what some of your favorite looking wheels are on Sn95 Mustangs. All right, next up on the list is power. I always say fast is relative. What's fast to me may not be fast to you, and what's fast to you may not be fast to me. In my opinion, a nice sweet spot for a power level on these 4th generation Mustangs is 450 rear horsepower. That's my personal opinion. A 450 rear horsepower Sn95 can touch 11 seconds pretty easily with the right suspension setup. That's my opinion of it, but I would be curious to think what is your opinion of the best all-around, you know, rear horsepower number for Sn95 Mustang. Like I said, speed is relative. Like you have some people who are out here about that life, where 450 rear horsepower is really nothing to them. And then you have some people who never been in a modified engine where, you know, 250 rear horsepower is playing for them. So let's not bash anybody on what they consider fast in this community, because whatever you've been exposed to is what you've been exposed to. So it doesn't matter if it's a mod motor or a push rod motor. One of the easiest ways to get to that 450 rear horsepower number is through boost. Now on my car, I have a on3 turbo kit. I have a 76 millimeter precision LS. That's their entry-level turbo, and the car is more than enough on the street or for whatever I want to do. So like I said, I do believe boost is the easiest way to 450 rear horsepower, but you can do it the NA way. I think the NA way can be a little bit more expensive than the on-3 turbo kit, but I am about to start a build series, which you've heard me tease this before, the Recession Buster 2.0, the modern day Recession Buster on these mod motors. So I'm actually trying to get my man Greg at Gears Performance to get in on this. I'm really concentrating on a 2-valve motor. I'm trying to get him to build a 4-valve motor using this recipe. I actually might build a 4-valve motor come 2025 to put in this red car. I'm not going to get rid of the push rod motor, but you know, there's a lot of coyote-itis going on out here, and I just don't want us to forget how you can build one of these mod motors to perform just as well, or maybe outperform a stock coyote. So hit the bell notification, subscribe to the channel. Those videos are going to be dropping soon. I'm recording them right now as we, well, not right now because I'm recording this one, but I'm in the process of recording that video series right now. All right, so moving down line, comfort. Like, this is a huge thing for me in this year. You know, when I was in my 20s, I didn't really care about comfort. I just wanted performance at all costs. I didn't care anything about ride quality as long as it could get me to point A to point B in the quickest fashion. That's all I cared about. Fast forward now, I kind of want a blend of both. So when I think of comfort, I think of ride quality. And so I think the ultimate answer for ride quality would be air suspension. Now, there's a couple of ways you can do an air suspension kit. You can do a manual kit and put it together pretty cheap, which personally I wouldn't do it that way, but I know of people who've done it that way and they absolutely, you know, love their air ride. But I would want something with the ability to adjust the bag pressures on its own, depending on, you know, what kind of load, or even, you know, they have ride height sensors. So I want something with more hands off on my part. So, you know, with companies like Vortech, you know, they have a CPU or a control module that will keep the bags at a certain pressure. You know, you set it there and it's going to hold it there. It's going to inflate or deflate the bags depending on whatever load that it sees. Also, when it comes down to the shocks and struts, you know, the dampening is fully adjustable on those. They also have for the struts a camber plate built in, so you can really dial in your suspension with those air ride kits. So for 2024, I'm not ready to drop almost $4,000 on a air ride kit. So I'm doing the next best thing, which is coilovers. I have a strange coilover kit in the front. In the rear, I have a Mustang Unlimited drop spring. Now up front is a 12-inch, I think I have a 200 pounds per inch coil spring on the front. Adjustable strange struts. In the rear, like I said, I have the Mustang Unlimited drop spring, which with strange adjustable shocks in the rear. So for this year, I'm going to play around with the spring rate that I have in the front. I believe the 200, it's not bad, but I want to go a little bit higher just to kind of see what kind of difference it makes as far as ride quality. In the rear, I have the Steeda adjustable height lower control arms. Now, the reason why I went with the Steeda adjustable control arms is, for one, it's a real well-built, solid aluminum piece. That was pretty key, as opposed to kind of what I have now. There's like a 3-piece welded section. As far as rigidity, it's not as good as this aluminum piece from Steeda. But the real big thing about it is the adjustable spring perch. So even without taking the spring off, I have the ability to raise or lower the height of the rear of the vehicle. So I'm going to pull that Mustang Unlimited spring out, which it's almost the same spring rate as a Sportline spring, iBox Sportline spring, which is pretty hard. So I'm going back with the stock coil spring, which basically these are converter springs off of Project Kendra. So I'm going to install these, lower it as low as I possibly can, and see how I like the ride comfort. And I did have a problem as far as drivability with the rear of the car being pretty hard. No matter how I have that strange shock adjusted in the rear, you know, it hits pretty hard on bumps in the rear. So I'm hoping going to the stock spring along with the adjustable lower control arms, that'll soften up the rear, but still give me enough performance where I'll be happy. And you can't talk about comfort, especially in the summertime, unless you have air conditioning. Now, I ran into a couple of problems with the air conditioning last year. It was basically me trying to bend some lines, and actually bent it too much and actually kinked it and broke it. So that was kind of a flop last year. But this year I'm going to get some custom lines made, and I will not go another summer without air conditioning. All right, last thing on the list is technology. And I gotta say, I've always been one of those guys where I'm like, hey, I don't need music. My exhaust note is the only sound I need in my car. And you know, it's been great for, you know, the past how many years it's been. Now that I'm married and Kim rides around a lot with me in this car, I'm gonna need some music. You never know when you're gonna need to set the mood with your wife while cruising around in your fourth generation Mustang. You know, nothing like a little Carl Thomas to set the mood while you're cruising with your boo down Route 66. So full disclosure, I've been out the car audio game for a very long time. I think the coolest thing that I discovered recently is the advent, or maybe it's not the advent, it's new to me, but Bluetooth enabled car amplifiers. So what does that mean? That means I don't need a head unit in my car anymore, that I can just use my smart device to control, to be the head unit, and it connects directly to the car amp. So I can just use my iPhone for, you know, any of my entertainment purposes, for which we mostly do now anyway. We use it for GPS or whatever like that, but it just doesn't have to be, I don't need like Apple Play or anything like that to connect through a head unit. It just connects directly to the Bluetooth car audio amp, which is pretty cool. So like I said, I've been out of the car audio game for a while. I do have some Sern Vega 5x7s or 6x8s in this car right now, just 4 speakers. No kind of real highs in there. I don't have a subwoofer. So if you have some suggestions on some car audio pieces, drop it in the comments, because I'm kind of out of the loop when it comes to monitoring audio. So shout out to Patrick at Horseplay Motoring. I've watched a lot of his car audio reviews on his channel, but the problem is he has a hatchback, and you know the subwoofer enclosure that he uses in his hatch won't fit in this the trunk of this Sn95. My man Greg has a killer ported, gosh, was that a 10-inch, 12-inch? I think it's a 10-inch subwoofer setup in his award-winning notchback. The thing sounds great, it hits hard, but I don't need like a 4,000 watt system in this car right here. So like I said, I'm open to suggestions. Oh yeah, man, my man Larry Blackman, I forgot about Larry when I saw him down in Ponies in the Smoky. Larry had a killer car audio system. Man, Larry, I haven't heard from you on the channel in a long time, man. I hope and I pray that everything is going well in your life. Hey, so that's my list of 4 things that I need for this car to be a ultimate Sn95 for me. Your list might be different, and I'm kind of curious to hear what your list is. What would you do to your car, or what have you done to your car to turn it to the ultimate Sn95 Mustang? Hey, like I said, I dropped a tease in this video before. I'm working on this recession buster video. Let me see, do I have anything around here to show you right now? Yeah, I got some cylinder heads over here, PI heads, but no, nothing I can really break to you right now. So hey, you'll just have to hit the bell notification and subscribe to the channel. And if you are interested in that content, just hang on because these videos are about to drop real soon. So thank y'all for hanging out with me. Until next time, God bless.